I needed a break from the city of Medellín, so I came here to Santa Elena for a short 2-night stay for the weekend. And honestly, I really felt like I needed it. I absolutely love Medellín. I love the hustle and bustle, the busyness, how there's always something going on, the landscape, how the city looks at nighttime, all of that good stuff. But you know what? Because of all those things, it's busy, it's noisy, there's lots of pollution. You can't really escape the city. It's difficult to get away from it. And so I felt like I just needed a break from it. I needed to spend some time in nature. I needed to get out of the city. So basically hopped in an Uber to El Centro, took a bus to Santa Elena. I didn't rent a car, I didn't want to go through the hassle of it. I wanted to make this trip as kind of easy and minimalist as possible. And honestly, it's been wonderful. I haven't actually been to Santa Elena yet, and it's a very popular place for people to come for a weekend if they need a break from Medellín like I did. And it only took us around 50 minutes on the bus, maybe 55 minutes with a little bit of traffic. It's kind of halfway from the airport and the city, but the road to get here is not very good. It's not like going to La Ceja, El Retiro, where you're kind of on the highway the whole time. It's a little bit more windy, the road's smaller, you kind of have to take long to get here, but it's a bit of a gem just outside the city. Some of my local friends suggested that I come here, and so here we are. So I brought Bee with me, my little doggy. She's been enjoying her time here. Hola, baby. ¿Cómo estás, mi amor? She's been enjoying her time here. And yeah, so you can see here, guys, we've got like the garden area of this little eco lodge, and the eco lodge is there. I'm actually going to do a little tour of the eco lodge in a separate video. So I spent the day yesterday exploring a little bit. There's a nice little forest that me and Bee walked around. It only took around an hour or so. Then we found some lunch somewhere. It's only kind of 15,000 pesos for a lunch, about half the price of what it is in Medellín, La Frontera, where we live. And albeit for a short time, basically lived the pueblito life here in Colombia. It's a lot slower. It's not as fast paced as living in the city. Things are a lot cheaper. Everyone rides around in their motos without a casco, without a helmet. They still do that in some of the barrios in Medellín, but not in the ones that I usually hang out. And I'll just show you the lodge quickly. So I guess this is probably like a typical lodge. We've got little Bee doing a wee there. Bee actually prefers being in the countryside, I think. So you got the lodge here, got a little patio there. This is where you go in. And this is basically the garden. It's like on a kind of like a sloping lote, but it's really nice. Had a little fireplace here. We didn't actually light the fire yesterday. It's a little barbecue here. So if you want to make some food in the afternoon, there's a little barbecue here. Pretty good. Didn't actually use it, but we could have done easily. And yeah, and I know it's actually the Colombian dream to buy a lote, create a house, live in the countryside, have a little finca with some animals, little farm, grow your own vegetables, grow your own herbs and everything. I can totally understand why, because Colombian cities, I just think, are way faster paced compared to European ones. They're way busier, they're much more noisy and everything. And so I really understand why the Colombian dream is to live in a finca, have that little slow life, slow mornings, waking up, drinking coffee, that kind of thing. And this is something I'm going to try and do more often. It's so easy when you live in the city, just to get bogged down in city life. You're on your routine, you're going to the gym, you're doing your work, doing YouTube videos, all of that stuff. But it's not until you actually get out of the countryside, you get out of Medellín, you kind of realize how much of a bubble you kind of really are in Medellín, although it's a really nice bubble and I love it. And yeah, it has just been great to get out of the city. It was pretty easy to get here as well, as I said. It didn't cost a lot of money either. I was thinking about taking a taxi all the way from my apartment to here, which would have been a lot easier. I could have just got my rucksack, got Bee with me, sat in the back of this taxi and gone to and came to the lodge, but it would have cost around 90,000 pesos. And I didn't really fancy doing that. I wanted to do things more like the local way, if that makes sense. So I took a taxi to El Centro, which cost around 25,000 pesos. Then I think the bus from El Centro to here was only around 5,000 pesos. And yeah, it was more of an experience. It was more an adventure. You have to wait like half an hour in El Centro for the bus, obviously, because not all the buses to Santa Elena go to the place where I am now. And of course, the bus that I needed to take was another half an hour wait or so, 40 minutes ended up being. So you get on the bus and it's like stop, start and everything, but it's all part of the experience, right? And it also saves you a ton of money. So yeah, all in all, pretty easy to get here, not that expensive. And I just found this place on Airbnb. There are actually loads of lodges. They call them cabañas here in Colombia. There's loads of lodges to choose from. So yeah, I just made sure the one I picked was pet friendly, that had decent reviews. It wasn't like stupidly overpriced, albeit they are probably going to be priced for foreigners and extranjeros rather than local Colombians. Because remember, a lot of typical Colombians who are living in Medellín will have their own kind of family fincas. It won't be their one, but it'll be like their grandma's finca or whatever. And they'll be able to kind of escape to the countryside more than the foreigners will be able to. And so yeah, the market for these cabañas is directed mainly at foreigners, but that's okay. It's not actually that expensive in the grand scheme of things. But it is something I missed about being in the UK, because when I used to live in London, I used to be able to go to my parents' house else who live outside London enjoy their garden, enjoy the countryside there. But since moving to Colombia, that's not something I have available on offer to me. And I know a lot of other foreigners living in Colombia will be in the same boat. They're used to having a little weekend escape retreat in their home countries. But when you move to a new country, you don't know anyone, you don't have your family here. You can't just quickly pop to your grandma's finca in the countryside because your grandma doesn't live here. And just by default, you just end up spending months on end in the city where you are. And you don't really escape to the countryside as much as you need to. But wow, this weekend has been really great. And so if any of you guys are watching this, if you need a recommendation, if you're living in Medellín and you want somewhere to stay outside, and if you need to escape the city for a little bit, I can highly recommend you come to Santa Elena. Easy to get to, feels like you're in the middle of nowhere. It's a lot cooler here. You can see I'm wearing my long sleeve t-shirt. Definitely cooler at night, so you sleep better, but it's just like the peace and quiet is just amazing. It's really, really great. If you have a dog as well, lots of these companions are dog friendly. B loves it. Don't you, B? ¿Estás, mi amor? B really loves it. I think she probably prefers the countryside to the city, you know, but maybe in the future, Harry in Colombia will purchase a finca and you'll be able to see a lot more finca content from me. Not joking. Send me joking on that. And for you local Colombians, you local paisas who are watching this, give me some recommendations for my next weekend away. Because granted that my batteries have been fully recharged coming here to Santa Elena for the weekend, I'm sure that in a few weeks' time, I will feel like I need another little weekend away break. So let me know. I've already been to El Retiro, La Ceja, Guarne, El Peñol, Guatapé, etc. This is my first time in Santa Elena. And interestingly, I didn't really realize that Santa Elena technically the majority of it is in the wider area of Guarne, because when I was walking along yesterday and I saw the big yellow signs on the lotes for development, it's like the local department of Guarne who issued the big yellow sticker and everything, so I didn't really know that. So yeah, it's called Santa Elena where I am now, but technically it's in the area of Guarne, which I really like, honestly. I think it's a cool area. So yeah, this is part one. Part two is going to be a full tour of the little cabin that me and B stayed in here. It's small, but I think it's really nice. It's kind of like a typical lodge, a typical cabana that you get here in Colombia. So yeah, stay tuned for that one, and I'll see you guys in the next video.